The reason I'm not sharing my video because I'm still in my sleeping suit. I came from Istanbul to UK, and since I landed here, I'm not really feeling well. But yeah, so basically, as we all are talking about globalizations, and I'm going to talk about globalization 4.0, and all of the speaker those were talking about, I'm going to actually reference two of them. One was Aisha. She was talking about, the e-health, the tech health, and obviously Shahab, he was talking about all the global reach. So what basically globalization 4.0 says is that this is gonna give actually birth to new industries. Like for example, I always give an example, like we would have thought, right, that a company who doesn't have a restaurant is making more money than the restaurant itself, right? And that's your Uber Eat, and in Pakistan we have Food Panda and all those. Similarly, with the even e-commerce sites, they don't have shops and they are just making more money, and it's all happened because of the technologies that we have, like AI, ML, and all those things that happening around the world. And this 4.0 economy is actually going to create new opportunities and jobs. And we would only be able to actually capture those opportunity if we are ready and we are actually tech savvy and ready, have the right skills that actually, the new era of economy is demanding. So digital transformation, basically, it's actually quite simple. Every speaker was actually saying, whether it was Ma'am Smina or Amar Joffrey or Aisha, everybody was saying, like, obviously, we have to equip ourselves with the modern technology, right? And whether it's a small business or big, you have to be ready. And it's actually moving on a very rapid pace. It's not really like if you do one thing today, it's going to last for another year or so. It's changing every day. And, machines are learning smarter and smarter. You hear the word smart with everything. Like you have smart houses, you have smartphones, you have smart TV and smart cars and all that. And it's all happening because of the solutions we have, that the companies have actually provided us the solution, right? Okay, somebody is asking me to control my screen. Shall I just give them that, Ajarat? Or I'm not gonna do it. I'm okay, happy with my, okay. For some reason, okay, it was held for some. So this picture is actually quite interesting. So like I said, we all are talking about smart devices and everything, and these smart devices basically they produce data. They are like that fridge there. They are just talking to, you can just see in the picture itself, it's a fridge, microwave, there's an oven there, there's a hoover. Then obviously you have smoke detectors, your lights are smart as well. So all these things actually talk to each other. For example, if you press a button on your remote and then obviously change the channel on your TV, it actually talking to your television set. And these are the old previous example that I'm just giving. For example, if you have a smart doorbell, and if somebody is ringing at your door and you get that ring on your phone, that means that doorbell is actually talking to your phone, whether you are in UK, United Kingdom, or in Pakistan, or in Africa somewhere. So all these devices, for example, they do, and it does actually help. Like we did talk about this health care as well earlier on. This smart fridge, right? It can actually, if you see there that, the guy is taking, some food from the fridge, and that fridge already know that how many calories that actually particular food contain. So for example, if tomorrow somebody is not, having a higher cholesterol or something, if that all system is connected, right, then that your doctor would have all that information. For example, that with the health system, that how many calories have you consumed, and even the top type of food, right, that you've been consuming, all that. And then obviously your sleeping pattern, your door lock, that there can actually tell what time you just entered the house and you left it. And it's actually reading all those things, that can actually help us to actually on the health sector, even on the social side is as well. I mean, there are so many things you can do. uh, okay. um Somebody raised a hand, but I'm gonna answer the question right at the end. There are some interesting facts we have with all these smart devices. Like, these devices talk to each other, right? So, smart devices project to be 200 billion by 2021. And this is actually quite interesting fact that 90% of the data in the world was generated in last 2 years, right? So all these devices, like I said, I mean, I showed you that fridge, that alarm, the smart life, smart TV, all those devices actually do talk to each other, and they produce data. And I was actually watching one video from DTT. They were just talking about what was that place in America people do? Las Vegas. They said your data is like an oil. The more you refine it, and its price goes up. So that's actually, I like that line. So your data is, in modern word, is like an oil. So the more you refine, the more you analyze it, it actually get important and important and get more important as well. And these devices, obviously, when they are producing, right? Again, about data. So more data being created every hour today that was entire 20 years ago. Like, so I mean, this is how much data we are producing, in this modern era. Now, the second point that is coming is that Amar sir has said as well, that when these devices are producing data is like a traffic, right? If you are driving around some village, you probably don't really need to follow the rules and security and all that. But obviously when you get to the city, if you don't really follow the traffic rules, or you don't have that safety feature, you're probably gonna end up hitting somebody, or even hurting yourself or somebody else as well. And God forbid, it could just damage. Similar with these devices, as well as these devices are producing so much data that need a lot of space to actually store. And it's not about storing anymore, and it's also about the processing and everything. So security is actually another challenge. And as you can see, that you might have heard in the news, the loss of big organization, people are facing ransom attack, malware attack, DDoS attack, and all that. And for all the entrepreneur to actually serve their customer better, and obviously because we will be using technology in there, then they should be aware of the security threat that world is facing. They can actually serve their customer in a better and safe environment. This is another one. These modern devices comes with the challenges as well. Like, even when I was explaining the first slide about that TV and the fridge and all that. So I mean, that's actually quite invasion to your privacy, isn't it? It is. And that's where actually security comes in. If you don't know, most of us actually face problems, when you download an app and it says it need this access, and we just put yes, 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 without even reading what access that particular third party app is asking. Same goes with these smart devices as well, and the smart technology we are using, like online shopping and all that. That it happened to Uber a couple of years back. They just put all of their data on S3 bucket, and they just made it public, so everybody would have be able to see it. And same thing goes with all these technologies as well. So this is an example. Like, for example, they have this smart speaker there, And that smart speaker actually, the husband, the whole, usually what the argument the husband and wife have, you can't even push the dishes correctly and all that. And that smart speaker was actually listening to that conversation. So he asked, that speaker, oh, were you listening to us? And the speaker comes up and he says, I mean, you can't even put the dishes right, right? So these devices are good. These are blessing, but obviously it need to be actually dealt with the all the the security feature and the knowledge that how should we securely set them up to do that. So moving on, I don't know. Moving on, that the security, the good thing about technology is that it does always leave your footprint, right? So anybody, if I'm making a call, like I'm at the moment, I'm sitting in Slough, London, UK, and if I just make a call, say somebody want to trace me to where I am, they would be able to actually trace where I am at the moment. So, for example, this washing machine has sent a spam to the fridge, and then obviously the second buddy is actually saying, would they be able to trace that back? So if you have the right knowledge, something happen. Obviously there are people, good people and bad people in the world, right? And obviously this is what we can't really change. It's obviously we can equip ourselves, our team, with the right knowledge and the skill, set of skills. So even something happen, like this is actually quite natural, isn't it, that you have the crime happen, and then obviously police investigate and all that. So but obviously we have to have all that mechanism in place to do that, right? All these things that the amount of data and the type of security we need, uh, it's not actually possible for the company to build this sort of environment, to actually have that sort of data center, and the security equipment actually involve quite a lot of investment. And according to the Uptime Institute, that half of the data that like I've already told you, yeah, you guys, that the amount of data being produced around the world, around the globe, that we are producing. So it's all going to reside under the cloud, the data center that we have. So according to the Gartner magazine, Gartner forecast, the spending on the public cloud is going to be, 661 billion in 2025, which is actually huge, right? And even the end user will be actually spending more money on the public cloud as well. So for if you go to see that, obviously, as you know, that 50% of our data is going to reside on the cloud. So we need to know about the leaders and the provider of the public cloud. So if you could just see in the Gartner Magic Quadrant, and that AWS is the market leader at the moment. It almost, I mean, I could be wrong, but I think it almost own more than 50% of the public cloud. And then comes the Microsoft comes as a second, Azure, and then Google and Alibaba are these major cloud providers. So as we will be needing these cloud services for our, whether you are developing an app, whether it's a e-health app or educational app and all that, you will be even, it's all happening. Zoom is on AWS cloud at the moment. So these four cloud provider are the major leader of the cloud. So we need to actually, get our team ready for all these four cloud providers. There are courses they offer, and obviously, because where the world is moving, we need to get our teams ready to be certified on these all four cloud provider as well, to actually meet the need and demands of this modern technology that we are going to. It's not just only the entrepreneur side things that are interesting about the cloud. If you just say top paying jobs are the cloud and the cybersecurity in the world. So it's only not, even if you are, for example, not everybody's entrepreneur, right? Not everybody can just start their own business. But obviously these are also, the top paying jobs as well, right? So, cloud and securities are the top paying job in the world. So if you are learning individually, for example, it's not that you are wasting your time you could be earning a really good amount of money. I had that interview with Rehan Alawala, and we were just talking about that. If one can earn around 1 lakh Pakistani dollar actually a year, and lots of people are actually pinging me on that one. So I wanted to enroll for that particular course. But yes, that's true. I mean, there are some good jobs where you can actually earn hundreds and thousands of money on this one. When you have those set of skills, and obviously if you are an entrepreneur and if you learn for your own business or you get ready your team, then obviously you are actually ready for the future and your team is ready for the future and for the expansion. There are so many benefits of the cloud as well, which obviously we don't really want to share here because it will be a very long discussion, and I'm sure you guys are already tired with listening to. So here is actually on the top paying job, whether it's in North America, Latin America, it's Europe or Asia. If you could just see on the top where you can see my arrow, the top paying jobs in the world are AWS jobs at the moment. So it's like I would really encourage individuals as well as we have lots of students here. So if you learn your skill by yourself, that's good because you are job ready after that. And if you are working for a company, then please do ask your team lead or discuss this point that obviously cater the future need where it's going. You have to be on the cloud, and most of these companies like you see are already on the cloud. You're all new, these startups, like it's not really, they are now quite mature businesses, but all of these, like your Daraz is on your Uber, Vikia, Uber, all of these are on cloud basically, and even on the e-commerce side basically it wouldn't be possible if cloud wasn't there, because Amazon basically started AWS as the solution for their own e-commerce businesses. So if the cloud wasn't there, you wouldn't be actually having this whole thing that we were just talking today. um like and obviously there's a huge shortage of your IT skills, the people those need that skills that obviously the industry needed. So obviously if you have like 60% of the business leader believe that the leading organization business information strategy, so transformation business strategy, that 93% says that skill gap between academia and industry, and obviously the skill set we already have is actually preventing them to actually grow or transform faster. There are some interesting facts that we have here overall. About 81% indicate that security is a challenge. Like I rightly said, that when you have this sort of data produce every day and those devices, and if you don't cater about the data and put on the right place, then obviously it is actually a challenge. And you can see the huge number already says that, and you already heard in the news as well that these many people have the companies are facing problem, right? Similarly, as cloud is a new technology, 79% actually had said they're managing cloud spend is actually a challenge. And then obviously the compliance and all that. So I mean, thank you very much for your time, but I would really encourage everybody, every entrepreneur or individual actually, to learn about the cloud. That all these things, like I think somebody's mentioned that that Bill Gates. I'm not really sure whether Bill Gates said it or not, that if your business is not in the cloud, it's not going to last longer. So I'm going to say this today: if your company is not on the cloud, and if you don't have the right skill, you won't be able to cope with the the industry demand in the future. So thank you very much, guys.